The following is a presentation of the World Baseball Classic.
Shohei Ohtani, 1 of 1.
¡Siéntate! Lo retrata sin sonrisa.
God! George has arrived. Good night now. Santa Maria. High and deep and gone. World Baseball Classic. You get it all.
Welcome to Houston. Third ticket to Miami to be punched here. A quarterfinal matchup, Puerto Rico and Italy. Nolan Arenado, Martin Maldonado. Puerto Rico's getting it done with pitching and defense. For Italy, wow. Big flies, lots of them. 12 home runs. That has powered the Italians to a 4-0 record. Here is the bracket. The winner here will get the winner of Japan and Venezuela on Monday night in Miami. Quarterfinals. Hey, they've been here before. This is 2023. This was a 4-0 start for Puerto Rico. They looked great until Mexico unloaded. 5 unanswered runs and a 5-4 win. How about Italy? They ran into Japan. They ran into 3 All-Stars, back-to-back-to-back. Ohtani, Imanaga, and Darvish. And that was it for the Italians. So they have another shot here in 2026, here in Houston. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz, Dan Plesac, John Morosi joins us shortly. Certainly Puerto Rico has more experience in the World Baseball Classic in games like this. But Italy is just the darlings of the WBC right now.
They have been spoilers in Pool B. They took down the big bad USA 8-6 with the barrage of home runs. On a positive note for Italy, Vinny Pasquantino had been pretty silent until that big game against USA. So if Pasquantino gets going, this lineup could be dangerous.
This crowd's going to be loud. They just introduced both teams, and they went nuts. Great contrast here. The pitching of Puerto Rico, the power of Italy.
Yeah, 2 teams that go about it in a different way. A lot of the scores in Puerto Rico were low-scoring games. Team Italy, on the other hand, they have lived and died with the long ball, but they've lived quite a bit. Ran the dice, 4-0 in pool play.
Here's the pitching for Puerto Rico, a Major League All-Star a couple years ago, Seth Lugo.
Very experienced pitcher. Very like Italy's pitcher the other night, Aaron Nola. Not an overpowering guy, can spin it, commands the off-speed, and a strike thrower.
And here's the power. 12 home runs in 4 games from 9 different hitters. And that's 12 espresso shots if you're scoring with us at home.
Yeah, this will be the most caffeinated team playing in Houston, no doubt about it. They shocked Team USA and that 8-6 victory. Listen, they were up 8-0. They were close to mercy ruling Team USA.
It's been quite a ride and quite a dugout. They are the darlings of the tournament, and with more on that, John Morosi. John?
Rich, thank you very much. They've been saying it in baseball for years. Look good, feel good, play good. Well, now that has an Italian translation as well. For every single game at this Classic, the Italians arrived fully suited, head to toe, with style. Even now, an Armani suit is part of the celebration they have with the espresso machine in the dugout. And most importantly, baseball capturing hearts and minds back home in Italy. The famous pink pages of La Gazzetta dello Sport now carry stories about Captain Vinny Pasquantino and the heart that he has brought. First pitch will be in Samuel Aldegheri's hometown just after 8 p.m. Meanwhile, Rich, you said it, the Puerto Rican fans have shown up. We could play this game in a Roman amphitheater, and the Puerto Rican fans would show up. Puerto Rico has made this tournament in many ways what it is right now. Finalist in 2013, finalist in 2017. Italy tonight tries to make their mark on the World Baseball Classic. They've been saying it in the crowd. Yo soy Boricua, pa que tú lo sepa. I am Puerto Rican, just so you know it. Who will win today? We're about to find out.
Such great tradition, so many great names in Puerto Rican baseball history. They have an all-star coaching staff and a Hall of Fame manager to be. And their lineup looks this way. Willie Castro, the versatile one. He's at second base. Darryl Hernaiz hit the walk-off homer, the big one down at Iram Bithorn Stadium. Arenado's at third. Cortez of the Athletics is in right field. Manuel Rivera at first. Elliot Ramos of the Giants in left field. Eddie Rosario, the DH. Matthew Lugo's in center. And Martin Maldonado playing his final his final World Baseball Classic, but his final baseball games. Yadi Molina has proved to be a really good manager. He's proved it in winter ball. He's done it here in the World Baseball Classic. He's actually leaned a little bit on Tony La Russa for managing advice through the texts throughout this tournament. And a true Italian going from Verona, Italy, Sam Aldegheri.
Yeah, Aldegheri was brilliant in Italy's 8-0 win over Brazil. 4 2/3, 1 hit allowed, a couple of walks and 8 strikeouts. Low to mid-90s fastball, good changeup, and a breaking ball to go along with it. One of the keys is to attack the strike zone early like he did against Brazil. This is a much deeper lineup for Puerto Rico than Brazil, but Aldegheri needs to remain aggressive.
You see that defense, there's a change there. Thomas Saggese is at short. Sam Antonacci is at second. John Birdie left the game the other night and may be banged up. He's not in there right now. He did take batting practice. First pitch on the way, and Aldegheri throws strike one to Willie Castro. The Changa bands have already started here for Team PR. That one fouled back and out of play. And Aldegheri, who looks super in his outing against Brazil, is 0-2 on the leadoff man.
Yeah, I think everyone's still around this Houston area buzzing over that 8-6 win over Team USA. Shocked a lot of people.
'94 with the fastball, and it's up. Castro, who was an all-star as a utility guy, can play literally everywhere. This year, he will be a Colorado Rocky. Fly ball, left field. That is deep. That is gone. One home run from this team in their first 4 games, and a leadoff shot by Castro. What a start.
Not a real good pitch with 2 strikes by Aldegheri, and Castro makes him pay dearly.
The other homer was from this guy. Darryl Hernaiz, a swing and a miss there. He had the walk-off to beat Panama. Fly ball right field. Caglione with room, and he makes the catch.
Another look at the home run. Aldegheri tries to go upstairs one more time, and Castro beats him to the spot. Short porch here, the Crawford box seats, but that's well over the Crawford box seats. A monstrous home run by Castro.
Arenado now. Arenado did not have a particularly powerful pool play down at Puerto Rico's home ballpark in San Juan. He was 3 for 14, did not have an extra base hit, knocked in 2 runs.
Good changeup there from Aldegari. That's really the pitch he's going to need. This team, Puerto Rico, very aggressive swinging. Going up there, hunting the fastball. Changeup is going to be Aldegari's best friend.
Aldegari, second year with the Angels, spent time in the minors, got to the big leagues last year. Swing and a miss.
That's that hard breaking ball. More of a slurve type breaking ball had Arenado out front. Second out, tried to damage control. You get a look at this breaker right at the back foot of Arenado. Appears to be a strike until it wasn't.
Now Carlos Cortez stands in. For Puerto Rico, their lineup does not have a lot of name recognition. And some of that had to do with previous injuries and insurance issues for names like Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor. Fisher is there and makes the catch. What a start. Willie Castro jumps a changeup and puts it in the seats and puts Puerto Rico up 1-0. Willie Castro has given Puerto Rico a 1-0 lead. Italy now, their first look at Seth Lugo, who will throw a little bit of everything at him.
Yeah, this guy's a terrific pitcher. Runner-up for the Cy Young Award in 2024 behind Tarek Skubal. Bounced around for a while between the bullpen and the starting rotation with the Mets. Always wanted to be a starting pitcher, has gotten a chance the last couple of years. And he's been pitching some terrific baseball for the Royals.
Pitch misses out, and it's 2-1. And Tanachi is at second base. As we noted, John Birdie not in the lineup. He did leave the game against Mexico in the late innings. And so you've got Thomas Sajasi right behind Antonacci.
Pretty good pitch from Lugo. I think he wanted that one right there. Down in the bottom part of the strike zone. It's a big pitch. Instead of 2-2, he falls behind 3-1.
That's out. And a leadoff walk. Antonacci is aboard. Sajasi will follow. Italy's lineup, a lot of power, 12 homers we talked about. They've slugged .640. Vinny Pasquantino has just 3 hits, and they're all home runs. Dominic Calzone, big power. Caglione, big power. Andrew Fisher has big power. And the guy at the bottom of the order, Dante Nori's been their best hitter. He's 6 of 12 with a couple home runs. And Tanachi away from first. And Sajasi takes a strike.
Lugo also very good at controlling the running game. Quick delivery to home plate. Makes him tough to run on.
Italy hasn't run a whole lot. They're 3 of 3 in their 4 games. So JC gets jammed and fouls it back.
Yeah, this is what's under the hood of Seth Lugo. He throws a bundle load of pitches. He'll throw the slurve about 26% of the time. 4-seamer, sinker, has a good curveball. Will mix in a cutter, a slow curve, a slider, and a sweeper, and a change. You got all that, Rich?
That's 9 pitches, Dan. 0-2 pitch. Rolls it foul. Are there enough buttons on PitchCom for all of those pitches?
I think what he does, I think his best attribute is he can adjust on the fly. When he feels good about one particular pitch, he'll go ahead and stick with it. He has a lot of options, but a guy that, for the most part, when he's on, he can command most of them.
Breaking ball is outside. If you're just joining us, Puerto Rico got a leadoff homer from Willie Castro. They've got a quality major league starter. Dip last year, but Dan talked about 2024 when Lugo was an all-star. That's a strike. Throw down to first. And back in, a strikeout of Sajasi. So 1 out. Here's Jacob Marcy. Throw over to first, and Antonacci back in. Marcy's got 3 hits. Has not homered. One of the few Italian players, regulars, that hasn't homered. Breaking ball is a strike. Marcy of the Marlins, 24-year-old, speed, defense, high on base percentage. Those are the attributes in the scouting report as he's climbed through the minors. Ball and a strike. Pasquantino is on deck. This is a decidedly Puerto Rico crowd.
Yeah, it's very loud and very boisterous, and Castro got them up off their feet early with that solo home run in the top of the first. Another close pitch. Maldonado wanted that one, and so did Lugo. Might have been a ball off the outside part of the plate. A good pitcher's pitch, but it was off the plate.
It's Carlos Torres, Major League umpire, behind the plate. Bill Miller's at first. John Byrne, the Aussie, is at second. Zdenek Zidek out of Czechia is at third base, and that's another walk.
Terrific at bat by Marcy. Didn't chase the 2-1 or the 3-1 that appeared to be about a ball off the outside edge. This is a good pitcher's pitch, but a great take.
Pasquantino was struggling so badly that in Game 4 against Mexico, he was 0 for 12. He tried to bunt for a hit in his first at bat. The bunt was foul, and then he hit 3 home runs in the game.
Be interesting. He has a chance to watch Lugo a lot during the regular season. Both teammates of the Kansas City Royals. It can work in your favor, but you can overthink it a little bit.
Got good speed out there for Italy. It is the quarterfinals, and the pitch count limit has been lifted from 65 to 80 in this round. That's a big rip and a foul ball. The pitching for Puerto Rico has been brilliant. A 1.22 ERA, the lowest ERA and the lowest WHIP in the tournament so far. Nope, didn't come far enough. Crowd reacts. Lugo having trouble finding the zone. Yadi is on the umpire right now. Two. Was on that, fouled it right back.
Good fastball there from Lugo, 95 miles an hour. Tried to lull Vinny Sweet with a couple of backdoor off-speed pitches. You want to elevate this one. This is a really good pitch by Lugo. It's a hard pitch to put in play and do anything with. That ball that's about chest high.
One out. 2-2. Line drive. Off the her knives. Runner coming home. Italy has a run. And Antonacci is in.
It was a slow first 3 games for the guy they called the Pasquatch. But Vinny is starting to heat up, and he's heating up at the right time. 3 home runs against Team USA in that shocker. And they beat Team USA 8-6. Gets a breaking ball here that's up in the zone. Hits a line drive, and he's just wishing this could find some outfield grass. Deflects off the tip of the glove. And Team Italy able to score their first run.
What an answer that is, with the crowd into it, and Puerto Rico up 1-0. The Italians have tied it, and now you got another power back coming up in Dominic Canzone. JP?
The conversation there with Pasquantino, Canzone, and Caglianone. Remember, 7 of the 9 hitters in the Italy lineup bat left-handed. Similar look, similar approach from Lugo. A lot of information being shared right there.
Yeah, and this is a run, JP, of 5 straight lefties. Starting with Marcy. Here's Canzone. Up the middle, into center field. That's a base hit. Here comes Marcy on the way in. 2-1 Italy.
Italy doing what they've done all tournament long. Vinny heated up with that 3-homer game against Mexico. And they keep the line moving. A base hit. Little first to third action. Second run is in.
At the corners now, still 1 out. Another lefty bat and a lot of power with Caglianone.
You know, it could work in your favor. You send up a slew of lefties. But as a pitcher, if you can find that right slot, whether it's with your changeup, you can expose that. But Team Italy, some really good at-bats here in the bottom of the first inning.
Arenado creeps in at third. Infield back for 2. And you got Caglianone, 3 for 8, a homer. He's driven in 3, and he's walked 3 times. And you go back to the at-bats by Antonacci and by Marcy, taking close pitches that were out. The pitch count is at 24 already. Two-0 pitch. Line drive, base hit, right field. Again, Pasquantino scores. Italy 3-1 here in the first.
Boy, quick answer back by Team Italy against a really good pitcher in Seth Lugo.
First 4 games, starters gave up just 3 runs. Italy's put 3 on the board and still hitting here in the first.
Familiarity played any part. A terrific at bat by Vinny Pasquantino. At 6-pitch at bat, takes a ball there, little tailing fastball, backdoor breaking ball, falls off a heater, then hits a breaking ball right back up the middle. You wonder and just wonder if being a teammate of Seth Lugo that Vinny was able to pass some knowledge on to these hitters. He has a pretty good view of what Lugo does during the regular season, playing first base for the Royals.
Lefty-lefty matchup. This is Fisher. Does not check his swing, and that's strike 1. Giovanni Moran out of the bullpen. 3 levels in the minors with a 3.82 ERA last year.
His job right now to contain this inning. You certainly don't want to fall behind much more than 3-1. We've kind of seen it in a different way. Team Italy has used the long ball to advance through Pool B, but they're just single. Quality at bats. You touched on it, Rich. Antonacci and Marcy. Terrific at bats off a guy like Lugo, who doesn't walk many.
There's a ton of power in the middle of Francisco Cervelli's lineup, and we're watching that run right now with Pasquantino, Canzone, Caglianone. And now you've got this kid who led the SEC in home runs last year, Andrew Fisher. He hit 25 of them.
Yeah.
And he's shown that power in this tournament.
Yeah, he's a very aggressive hitter, too. You look at him, he's a very physical player. Looking at third base prospects. Number 6 prospect for the Brewers.
Canzone at second, Caglione at first. And the 2-1 to Fisher.
Another really good take. Pretty good pitch by Moran. Little 4-seam fastball with some cutting action.
Martin Maldonado is as good a framer as there is. A Gold Glove major leaguer. Always considered a great defensive catcher. And that pitch misses outside. And Puerto Rico can't throw strikes. Third walk, along with 3 hits. Bags are loaded. And now you get a right-handed bat against the lefty Moran in D'Orazio.
Boy, if you're Team Italy, a base hit right here would really create some space. Team Puerto Rico, even though the game started with that Castro homer, really not a team that's built to score runs in bunches and hit the long ball.
Francisco Cervelli before the game talking about J.J. D'Orazio. He's the guy that has replaced Kyle Teal, the young catcher for the White Sox, who injured his hamstring and is out for the rest of the tournament. D'Orazio has homered, and with each game behind the plate, getting more familiar with each pitcher, he's looked much, much better than that debut off the bench. Bags loaded, 1 out. Middle infield back for 2.
Good changeup there from Moran. Had D'Orazio out front. You see D'Orazio out there expecting the fastball. You see the grip, almost that kick changeup.
Both managers have pretty much their full bullpens at their disposal. D'Orazio hits that into left. Ramos is there, makes the catch. Runner tags. 4-1 Italy. Canzone scores.
Another productive at bat from Team Italy. With the runner on third and less than 2 outs, try to get the ball in the air if you can. D'Orazio gets a pitch and he hits it just deep enough to left field. And Team Italy has quieted Dyken Park.
This is the first big Italy inning that did not involve espresso. That only gets doled out with home runs. This is Nori. The 21-year-old takes a swing and a miss. He's really opened some eyes. Toronto native. We saw his dad, an assistant coach in the NBA, his grandfather, a former assistant college baseball coach, in the stands to watch the games here. First round pick of the Phillies, 2024. There's Dad. Also worked for the Toronto Raptors, and that's why Dante was born in Toronto. Caglione at second, Fisher at first. Strike 3 called. Inning is over, but what an inning for Italy. After 4-1.
A 4-run outburst for Team Italy in the first, and it almost didn't happen. If Ernest catches that ball, it might have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, Pasquantino drives in the run and then has a conversation with the next 2 hitters, Dom Canzone and Jack Caglianone. Both of them hit off-speed pitches for RBI singles. That was a theme in that first inning. Seth Lugo unable to locate the fastball. He walked both Antonacci and Marcy on mislocated fastballs, and then Pasquantino, curveball, Canzone, curveball, Caglianone, changeup. All three of those hits on off-speed pitches. Pasquantino, great insights for his teammate.
An enormous inning for Italy. Now Puerto Rico back up there. Emmanuel Rivera, Elliot Ramos, Eddie Rosario. We got 5, 6, 7 in their lineup. Popped up infield. Antonacci calling for it, and he makes the catch.
Big inning here for Sam Aldegari. When your team scores your 4 runs at the bottom of the first, you'd like to keep that momentum. Referred to often as a shutdown inning. Big inning to keep momentum on Team Italy's side.
Francisco Cervelli has been a delight to talk to throughout this tournament. Ramos, a San Francisco Giant, 1 for 13 with 6 strikeouts. It's not been an easy ride for him in the WBC.
You touched on it in the open. Not having Lindor and Carlos Correa, 2 big bats that were hoping to be with Team Puerto Rico, could be difficult for them to play catch up. Long ball really not in their favor.
You know, the other name is Javi Baez. Had nothing to do with insurance. For Baez, it was a positive test for marijuana with a 2023 World Baseball Classic that keeps him out of 2026. Aldegari splits the plate. It's 3-1. Ramos 21 home runs last year for the Giants. His 3rd full season, and he walks here. So that's a lot of pop. Correa has had injury issues. Insurance said no. Francisco Lindor as well. It's a lot of all-star appearances and a lot of danger in those bats. Give Yadier Molina credit, though. Without those guys, Molina has managed this team magnificently and has them in a position here in the quarterfinal to get to Miami. Eddie Rosario. Like many players, especially veteran players, Rosario a free agent hoping to land with a major league club. There are plenty of scouts here to watch these games, looking for guys like Rosario, Emmanuel Rivera. Rosario keeps bouncing back to the Braves. He's had 3 different runs with Atlanta. 11 years in the big leagues. Best year with the Twins from 17 to 19. That's a strike. He averaged 27 homers a season. So he's got pop.
Really good 2-0 curveball there from Aldegari. Trying to fight his way back into this count.
As you see there, the NLCS MVP back in 2021. And now Puerto Rico doing exactly what Italy did against Lugo, and that is be very patient. Three straight 3-ball counts for Sam Aldegari. And he lost them. And Rosario screams into the Puerto Rican dugout. Let's go.
Yeah, just what you don't want to have happen if you're Team Italy. Vinny Pasquantino making another trip to the mound. John Paul Morosi told us earlier that he had a conversation with Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli said, hey, anytime you feel like you need to go out there and talk to a pitcher and slow him down, like having another coach on the field.
And this sends up somewhat of a red flag to Francisco Cervelli, sends Alessandro Maestri, the pitching coach, out. And all of a sudden there's a ton of action in Italy's bullpen. This is a knockout game. Winner goes to Miami to the semifinals. Loser goes home. Sal Fasano.
A lot of catching experience here with his coaching staff, Team Italy. Cervelli, Fasano, and Jorge Posada, also part of that coaching staff with Team Italy.
We have some incredible catchers here. As you see, Posada, Fasano, great defensive catcher. And obviously with Cervelli. Swing and a miss by Matthew Lugo.
Good changeup, pulled the string there on Lugo.
On the other side, Yadier Molina is the manager. Sandy Alomar Jr. is one of the base coaches, the first base coach. High pop. And it's out of play. There he is. And look, Puerto Rico has cornered the market on great catchers. There's a long line of them. The Molinas, all the way back to Benito Santiago, your buddy.
Played with him with the Toronto Blue Jays. One of the strongest throwing arms I've ever seen in baseball. From his knees, he would throw bullets.
1-2. Hit him, I think. The ball ping-pongs off the catcher, and it is. He's a hit batter. It's not a loose ball or a live ball. Yadi wanted to make sure of that. Cervelli looks like he's ready to hop out and make a pitching change right now. As Matthew Lugo limps down the first base line, it did hit him. Cervelli hopped out. Maybe he was going to argue that it was a hit pitch. He's right back in the dugout, so no change.
Yeah, command has become very much an issue for Aldeguer here in the second inning. Pulling a lot of his breaking pitches. Has thrown a couple of good changeups. It's not going to get easier now. A guy that's familiar with this ballpark in Maldonado.
Two arms up to Luca and Jacob.
Yeah, double barrel action. 30 pitches for Aldeguer, only 16 for strikes, and I think Cervelli has seen enough.
4-1 Italy. Bags loaded Puerto Rico. Pitching change in the second. No starting pitcher likes an early hook.
Quick exit for Aldeguer. Team Italy pushed across 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Time to go to the bullpen. Jacob in for Team Italy.
And he hits Maldonado. This is already a crazy game. The side armor came too far inside.
First pitch from Jacob, you can see a two-seamer, and Maldonado, being experienced that he is, was like, I'm going to take one for the team. Run batted in. More importantly, another run for Team Puerto Rico.
Now the switch hitting Castro. who homered from the other side against Aldegari to open the game. No hits in this inning. 2 walks, 2 hit batters. And it's 0-2.
Look at the home run here in the first. A changeup up in the zone. Hits it high off the wall above the Crawford box seats. The Puerto Rican fans into a frenzy early.
Puerto Rico trying to tie it. Italy looking for a ground ball to escape. One and two.
That's about the best fastball you're going to see from Jacob. He'll be anywhere from 86 to 89. He relies on deception and that change of pace, that slow changeup.
There it is again, and that's a big out to get for Italy.
He uses the fastball for decoration and then puts him away with a changeup right here. This ball, the bottom falls out of it. Great sequence of pitching. Fastball up, changeup down and away.
And nice now. Breaking ball strike. This is outside, and it's 1-1. Puerto Rico has just the 1 hit and 2 runs. Jacob to the plate.
That 87 looks 95 after a steady diet of changeups and sweepers.
Alex Cintron. Jose Rosado. Chopper. So JC gets the outs. A messy inning, cleaned up somewhat. Italy keeps the lead, but it's 4-2.
They are very proud of their baseball heritage in Puerto Rico, and certainly the great lineage of catchers there. La Tierra de Receptores, for many years, a mural at Irán Bithorn Stadium with the great catchers of that amazing island. You see here at the ballpark tonight, not only those in uniform, but also those in the dugouts. Martin Maldonado behind the plate, a postseason stalwart. Yadier Molina, a future Major League managerial candidate, and Jorge Posada in the dugout alongside his former Yankee teammate and friend, Francisco Cervelli. There is just such a great tradition of that position, and the island very proud of all those who carry on the legacy.
Amen. 0-1, swing and a miss. Top of the order for Italy in a game that just hasn't settled down yet. And Tanachi walks in a 4-run first for Italy. Posada topped that list for most postseason games caught. Yadi caught almost 2,200 games in the regular season. The record holder is Pudge Rodriguez, with Carlton Fisk behind him, Bob Boone behind him, and then Yadier Molina with Gary Carter fifth. Giovanni Moran came in and took over for Seth Lugo. Strike 3 called.
Yeah, good breaking ball there by Moran. He looks a lot more comfortable starting this inning. One of the things you want to do with your team, Puerto Rico, right now, just try to get some quick outs, get the team back in the dugout, swinging the bats. Changeup had a little tailing action on it.
And that caught the corner of the box. So JC called out on strikes in the first.
Take a look at Moran. 5-pitch mix. Deceptive delivery plus extension. Fastball plays well against lefties. His bread and butter is the changeup. Good fastball there, 93 miles an hour. Ties up to JC.
Yesterday on this field, Team USA got by Canada, and I do mean got by Canada. They didn't blow them out. Had a 5-0 lead. Canada came back, made it 5-3, and that's how it ended. Here's the 1-1. Foul back to the screen.
Relief pitching played a big part of that Team USA win. Second and third, nobody out. David Bednar was behind Josh Naylor 3-1. Threw a great 3-1 changeup to count back in his favor, a pop-up, then a couple of punch-outs, and then Mason Miller made quick work in the 9th inning, 3 strikeouts.
Quick is a good word for Mason Miller. Into left field, that's a base hit for Sajasi. And a 1-out single. Now you got the 3, 4, 5 all lined up. Marcy, Pasquantino, and Canzone.
Changeup that Sajasi hits in the hole between third and short. Out front on it a little bit. Able to get the barrel to it.
Marcy walked back in the first inning. Moran throws a strike. Bringing the lefty in, as JP pointed out, against this Italian lineup. Theoretically, should be good for Puerto Rico. A lot of lefty bats lined up. Starting with Marcy, 5 straight in the middle of the lineup. But all those bats can hurt you.
As a manager, you try to put your relievers in the lane that would be able to take advantage of their pitch mix. Right in the heart of the order of the lefties here for Team Italy. I think you and I both surprised at Lugo's quick exit. He was so good in his lone start in Puerto Rico. Team Italy made it work, and they chased him in the first.
Marcy fouls that one back. 55 games in the big leagues last year. And some really good numbers. 292 average, 363 on base, and slugged 478. Stole some bags, hit some homers. Into the bat, a little floater, and it lands, turning second, hustling to third is Sajasi, and it's first and third for Italy with 1 out.
Great job of base running there by Sajasi. So much of base running is on instincts. You see he's going back to first. He picks up where the ball is. He sees where the outfielders are. There was no stopping him. Terrific read. He makes it easily into third.
Yadier Molina has another lefty ready in the pen, and a slow walk out. Looks like he wants the baseball. Pitching change. Italy threatening again in the bottom of the second. To start the World Baseball Classic, that ended in a hurry against Mexico.
Not just one. Here's the second home run by the guy they call Pasquash. And to complete the trifecta, 3 home runs against Mexico. Highly caffeinated espresso night for Vinny.
He's the guy that came up with the idea, and he nearly emptied the machine in one game. At the corners, Eduardo Rivera is in. Middle infield back for 2, corners in, and a fastball for a strike. And it's 0-1.
This is a big dude, 6'7", 245 pounds. Hard thrower, mid to upper 90s breaking ball, fastball with a breaker to go along with it. Only thing that has plagued Rivera early on in his career, at times, command issues. When he's throwing strikes, he's tough to hit.
Pasquantino, an RBI single back in the first. 1-1 pitch. Well, he threw his first fastball for a strike, but has missed with 2 in a row.
That's pretty much the scouting report. Massive and intimidating frame at 6'7", high octane fastball, and a swing and miss slider to go along with.
Then he took his A cut.
A lot of life on that fastball from Rivera. Pretty much center cut, threw it right by Vinny.
Hasn't seen a fastball or a breaking ball yet. All fastballs. 2-2.
Well, you can see Maldonado wants that one. That looks like it catches a portion of that outside corner. 97 with a little bit of cut on it at the end.
See if the runner starts from first. Marcy. He goes. Swing and a miss. Maldonado thought about throwing, but holds on to it. And Marcy steals the bag. There's 2 outs.
You can see why Rivera can be so hard to hit when he's throwing strikes. Mid to uppers 90 and nothing is straight. This ball almost appears to have an action like a cutter on it. See four-seam grip, a little off center. Then he thinks he's right on it. He throws it by him.
Can't zone now. '82 games with Seattle last year, 11 home runs. One and one. Jacob Marcy had that left hand out a little bit. Looked like he was trying to direct Canzone. What do you make of this?
I think right now, well, listen, Rivera hasn't thrown anything but fastballs. It looks like he's given him the sign. The express has come. We've yet to see a breaking pitch from Rivera. Everything has been away to the lefties and cutting away.
How much of that is he loves his fastball as opposed to there's a guy at third, and if he bounces that breaking ball, it's a run?
I think it's just you're talking about a young guy, Rich, that doesn't have terrific command of both sides of the plate. His comfort zone is into righties and away to lefties.
3-1 pitch. That's away to that lefty, and it's out of the strike zone. And the bags are loaded again in Puerto Rico. And Yadi Molina's had to manage with a lot of traffic on there for Italy. He's wearing out a patch right now from the dugout to the mound.
Yeah, this might be one of those manager to pitcher conversations saying, hey, listen, you've got good stuff. You've got to start throwing the ball in the strike zone here. I mean, it's never been a question about the stuff from Rivera. He's not missing by much, but he's missing by a couple of balls off that outside edge.
If you're just joining us, this is a quarterfinal game, a ticket to Miami in the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic. Puerto Rico has been there before a lot. Italy has not. They are the darlings of the WBC with a stunning upset of Team USA, and they backed it up the next night by taking down powerful Mexico. And here they are with a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the second. Eduardo Rivera struggling mightily to throw strikes. Caglione with big power, an RBI single back in the first. I
think if you're Caglione right now, you almost have to sell out and say, I'm going to get something away from me. Rivera has yet to throw anything middle of the plate in. Everything has been away, away, away.
Little check swing.
When you have as much movement as Rivera does, you'll get a swing like that. When you're throwing 96, 97, you've got to get that bat started. I think Caglione, that ball appeared to be knee high, and it just kept tracing off the plate.
Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. And Puerto Rico gets out of it. Italy leaves them loaded. And the crowd's back in. On to the third in Houston. 4-2. On to the third after a crazy 2 innings to start this one. Arenado in the box. Dylan DeLucia to the plate. A 2-hopper to Sajesi, and he throws out Arenado. And there's one out here in the third.
Yeah, we saw DeLucia earlier in WC play in Pool B. 3 2/3, gave up a couple of hits, couple of runs. Struck out 5 and walked 1. His job right now, get some outs and try to get some quick outs.
Carlos Cortez, lefty bat, popped out back in the first. Both managers are 3 pitchers into this game, and it's the third inning. Manuel Rivera is on deck. And DeLucia misses away.
Yadi Molina already having to go to that bullpen early and often. I don't think he had any visions that Lugo wasn't going to be able to get through the first inning. Same thing with Francisco Cervelli. Both managers with quick hooks early in their starting pitchers. Aldegari was so good in his lone start early on against Brazil. Wasn't able to get through the second inning.
Cortez wasn't happy about that strike call. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2 after DeLucia misses. Antonacci. 2 ground ball outs.
I think one of the things that's really impressed us, Rich, throughout this Pool B play that ended was the defense that Team Italy. The home runs have been really the focal point and the espresso, but their defense has been pretty airtight through the first 4 games.
Does espresso help the defense, or is it more helpful offensively?
Well, you're going to need some espresso. We're going to go through a boatload of pitchers to stay on your toes.
0 errors for Italy. Puerto Rico is a very, very good defensive team as well. 2 of the very best in the World Baseball Classic defensively. Manuel Rivera popped out back in the second. Puerto Rico got their run in the first. Willie Castro led off the game with a long home run to left center field.
We talked about it early. The schedule kind of played in Italy's favor. They were able to hold Michael Lorenzen and Aaron Nola for games 3 and 4, and both those starting pitchers delivered.
2-1 liner caught there by Antonacci. Dylan DeLucia restores order. That's a 1-2-3 inning. Andrew Fisher in the box. Bottom of the third in Houston. Fisher walked back in the first. J.J. D'Orazio, Dante Nori for Italy. And the big lefty, Eduardo Rivera, still in there. It's really a good contrast at the plate. Fisher's just beginning his career. He played 19 games in the minors last year. Had that great year for Tennessee, 25 homers. And the man behind him is playing his possible final game ever. Martin Maldonado retiring after the WBC. This is an elimination game, so this could be it. Pitch comm issues. Teams now have to not only have bullpen catchers, batting practice pitchers, but tech experts to make sure everything's working.
The bat boys are normally the official runners to run that device out.
Look, if you want anything fixed, whether it's your phone or your computer, you need a 16 or 17-year-old to do it, because they know. Counts 1-0. Fisher will get back in the box. Seth Lugo started, didn't last long. A third of an inning, 4 runs, 3 hits. Giovanni Moran came in, he went an inning. Eduardo Rivera relieved Moran in the second, walked 1, but then struck out 2. With mostly fastballs, Fisher takes a mean hack. High pop down the line. 3 players there, and a nice catch. Cortez almost overran it, as his 2 teammates did. He laid back and just made the catch.
Yeah, it could be difficult in an indoor ballpark like this one, where you have those rafters and kind of a neutral colored ceiling. That ball drifting back towards the field of play. Rivera liking it.
Durazio now, and there's a strike.
I think it's so important right now for Team Puerto Rico to try to get a clean 1-2-3 inning. They've been navigating through traffic since this ball game started.
Durazio to right, back goes Cortez, has room, makes the catch. There's 2 quick outs for you.
Try to restore some order. A lot of deep counts. Lots of traffic on the bases for Italy through the first 2 innings.
And now here's Nori, called out on strikes in the first. Lined up the middle, sliding stop. Hernandez to first, and a base hit for Nori with good speed.
Nice play to knock that one down and get a glove on it by Hernandez. There's Nori's father loving it. He just runs so well on the left side of the box. You see Hernandez gets it, slides, gets up to his feet, and makes a strong throw, but Nori's just too fast. Beats it rather easily to first.
Question is, there's Dad reacting. How long will he be at first with 2 outs and that speed? JP?
Well, Rich, to your point, the Nori family always on the move. Micah woke up this morning before dawn, flew from the Bay Area all the way here after the Timberwolves 127-117 win over the Warriors. Tonight he flies to Oklahoma City. The Timberwolves play there at noon tomorrow.
Big jump, Nori on the way. Maldonado, strong throw, safe at second.
Yeah, look at proud Dad right there saying that's just the way I taught him in the backyard. Makes it much more difficult for a guy like Maldonado to throw when you have a left-handed hitter. See, he squares the bunt to kind of block the vision a little bit of Maldonado. Nori's off to the races, and he beats this one easily.
And Tanachi has walked and struck out. Yeah. Probably one of his other coaches with the Timberwolves. Hey, man, you're looking good on TV.
Hey, they're getting some airtime right now, Dad.
I don't think Rivera has thrown an off-speed pitch at all.
Yeah, everything has been away, but listen, that's his bread and butter. You can get away with that as a relief pitcher because you're probably going to go through the lineup once, maybe twice if you're having a really good day. It's difficult to be that one-sided as a starting pitcher.
24 four-seam fastballs. All of them have been four-seam fastballs.
You can locate him on the edges like that, 96. You could stay away, and down. This pitch has some cut on it.
That 4-run first by Italy really quieted this big Puerto Rican crowd. They try to get back in it. Two-two. Full count now.
I was thinking this might be the one pitcher you don't have to worry about having PitchCom issues with, right, Rich? It's just sit outside and try to hit the glove. Everything's been away.
Long wait, 3-2. Well, maybe that was the conversation when they went out there with the PitchCom. Hey, just turn that thing off.
Yeah. Turn it off. Yeah, it is what it is. Four-seamer 95, four-seamer 95. Anywhere between 95 to 97. Pretty good chance pitch number 7 is going to be on the outer edge also.
Three-two.
Well, he has a lively fastball, though. When you throw that many fastballs in a row and you're continuing to get foul balls and late swings, and I'll tell you the life he has on that fastball.
Another 3-2. To center. Lugo has it. 29 straight fastballs. 4-2 Italy. In Houston, a ticket to Miami on the line. A knockout round quarterfinal between Italy and Puerto Rico, which had a crazy start. Puerto Rico had a leadoff homer and this place exploded. And a 1-0 lead, which didn't last long. Italy got 4 in the bottom of the first as Elliot Ramos fouls it back. Then Puerto Rico got a bunch of traffic on, got a run across, had the bags loaded, couldn't add to it. And here we are in the fourth, 4-2 Italy.
Yeah, Team Italy had a chance to break this game open in the second inning, had them loaded with 2 outs. Big strikeout of Caglione for Team Puerto Rico to get out of further trouble.
Italy pitchers have walked 2, hit 2. And the Castro homer, the only hit allowed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ramos 1 for 13. He walked back in the second. And fouls it back to the screen.
Good fastball there from DeLucia. Ran it in on the hands of Ramos. So important to get that first out of it in. Look at that fastball in. Well located.
Tradition of the Puerto Rican players in the World Baseball Classic is a little blonde dye job. A lot of guys going blonde for the WBC. Dan and I did not get the memo.
No, we didn't get that memo, Rich. We went old school. You'd look pretty good, though, wearing a headset with that look right there.
I don't know that you could get the headset on right there. 3-2 from DeLucia. Swing and a miss from Ramos.
3-2 hard breaking ball gets Ramos to chase off the plate. Big first out for Team Italy. Big sweeper that continues almost into the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
Here's Rosario. He walked back in the second. DeLucia's retired all 4 he's faced, and he misses outside. Look, Italy gets to Miami. That's a seismic event in the world of baseball.
I know they don't feel this way, but they shocked the baseball world when they took down Team USA 8-6. Had an 8-0 lead, and Team USA needed some help from their friends in Italy to beat Mexico.
And they obliged. And Tanachi, little underhand flip, and there's 2 outs. JP?
Rich, I would say that the people watching with interest in Miami, of course, the Japan-Venezuela quarterfinal tonight. What's happening here with both starting pitchers out early bodes well for whomever wins that game, because, of course, with the tournament rules, you would assume some of the relievers that work today will be eligible to pitch in the semifinal, but certainly not all of them. This is good news for the winner of that game, because that is the matchup. The winner of Puerto Rico, Italy meets the winner of Japan, Venezuela.
Great points for sure. Matthew Lugo hit by a pitch back in the second. If you want to go across the pond, so to speak, and go further that way in terms of who's watching, this is primetime viewing in Italy tonight. This game on Nationwide in prime time. And Francisco Cervelli said, yeah, they're going to play the football first, and then it's baseball night in Italy. He was pretty proud of that. That's my best Francisco Cervelli. JP?
That is Marco Mazzieri, the president of the Italian Baseball Softball Confederation. Softball, a very strong sport in Italy.
Off the glove of the diving Antonacci. And Matthew Lugo's got a base hit. Just the second hit for Puerto Rico, and it brings up Martin Maldonado.
Really good piece of hitting by Lugo. Doesn't try to pull that ball that's breaking away from him from DeLucia. Able to just get it past Sam Antonacci at second base into right field.
Lugo's hit first. Maldonado never known for his hitting in the big leagues, but he always had a starting spot. He was such a premier defensive catcher.
He's also the kind of guy, he's not a guy you want to see up in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning with runners on. The average isn't always high, but this guy has a knack for coming up big in big parts of games, particularly late in games.
Absolutely. And has played in a lot of big games. Obviously, with the Astros, that was a close play at first. Italy will look at that. Bill Miller down at first.
See the quick snap throw. Clearly gets that right hand in. And he's like, worth a look, maybe.
Liner to left. Nori is there and makes the catch. And DeLucia, 2 scoreless in the books. Bottom 4, 4-2 Italy. Thomas Sajesi coming up for Italy. Jacob Marcy, Vinny Pasquantino. We've got Italian fans here. They've been represented, but this ballpark probably 85% Puerto Rican fans.
Will this be the inning we see a breaking ball from Rivera?
No way. That's 30 straight 4-seam fastballs.
All in the same location, into righties, down and away, or up and away to lefties.
He can't have any feel at this point for that breaking ball, right?
Maybe he's going to save it for Sajesi with 2 strikes. Try to bury one at that bat. Oh, they're going away.
All right, 90 miles an hour.
Had to be some sort of hard changeup / forkball. I think if we're ever going to see the breaking ball, Rich, we're going to see it right here, down and in.
Let's see what pitch com called for. Well, so JC can hit the breaking ball. '94.
Went right back to the express. Inner third on the corner. Up and in. Tied Sajesi up. Really good pitch right here from Rivera. Maldonado has the target set. Bullseye. 2-seam grip.
Now he gets into that lefty part of the lineup. Hey,
there it is.
Stop the game. There'll be a brief ceremony.
Type of pitch, slider 88.
Well, why not? Another one. Looked more of like a changeup that didn't come out the way he wanted it to.
See if he goes right back to that express outer third with a little bit of cut on it. Another pitch right there. Maldonado is doing all he can do to try to buy some real estate on that outside edge. You see that hesitation on the throw back. You see Maldonado looking at his pitcher with that glove, pulling it to the chest, trying to have him stay on line, stay on target, take that head, take your shoulders, deliver it towards home plate, not falling off so much towards third base. Much better that time.
All right, he's actually showing Marcy everything he has. Fastball, slider, changeup.
It can be difficult when you're 6'6", almost 250 pounds, to keep everything on line and stay in sync.
Got him.
Terrific pitch from Rivera. He's been much more around the strike zone this inning. Not what you can do. You're in 2-strike protect mode. Really good pitcher's pitch.
Second time through.
You look at Rivera, that big, huge body, reminds you of a guy from the right side that pitched for the Yankees, Dellin Betances. Another big guy, 6'7", 6'8", about 260 pounds.
Pasquantino, the first to face this lefty.
Like to see him try to break out that breaking ball right here to Vinny. Vinny's been selling out on the fastball. Rivera can locate that slider down and away. He might be able to get some chase.
Up and in. It's 1-2. 4 strikeouts and a walk. The one hit was Nori's infield single. Pasquantino stays alive. Winner of this game heads to Miami. We'll play Monday night against the winner of Japan and Venezuela. Oh, did he get him? No. Molina out. There was a quick discussion between Maldonado and the home plate umpire, Carlos Torres, who is a major league umpire.
Went to the breaking ball right here. Almost had Vinny going for it. Good take there by Pasquatch.
2-2. That actually was a strike, but it missed the target so badly, it's hard to call it a strike. And that's a perfect pitch that illustrates the challenge system that's coming to Major League Baseball.
And it's a tough pitch when your pitcher's all over the place. Watching Aaron Nola, Lorenzen, and even Logan Webb last night, so much easier as a catcher to frame pitches when a pitcher's throwing a ball in a general area, whether you want it inside or outside.
He was 0-2 on Pasquantino. JP?
All right, Dan Plesac, you're a great lefty reliever. You love lefty relievers. I've got a comp for you on Rivera. Fastball heavy reliever, tall, Jake McGee. Rivera is the Jake McGee of Team Puerto Rico.
Really good call, JP. Very similar to big, strong guys.
Big jump. Running is Pasquantino, and he has the bag.
Picking up that extra 90 feet. Rivera not paying attention to Pasquatch over there at first. Then he gets a good jump.
And he blew out the pants, but they got plenty of those. They're hanging right next to the Armani suits in the dugout, or actually in the clubhouse. The Armani sport coat is part of the home run celebration.
Sport coated a big giant shot of espresso.
Haven't had any yet. Canzone is homered in the Classic. He's walked, has an RBI single. Check swing, he went.
2-1 went to the breaking ball. Hasn't thrown many. You have to sell out. You do the simple math. It seems like 9 out of the 10 pitches from Rivera have been four-seam fastballs away with a little bit of cut on.
2-2 to Canzone. Well, off speed, and it's 3-2. 22 pitches this inning. My estimate would be what, 18 heaters?
Yeah, you would have to think as few breaking balls as he's thrown, even though the right pitch here probably is the breaking ball. He'll more than likely go with a fastball away.
Breaking ball away and out.
Really good at bat there from Canzone. It's one of the better breaking balls Rivera's thrown too.
Yadi Molina on his way out. With the pitch clock, when you're a high velocity guy and you get traffic and deep counts, those pitches can wear you down without a lot of time to wander around and take a timeout. And that's it for Rivera. 4-2 Italy with a couple runners on.
There's a look at Team Italy general manager Ned Coletti. He traces his roots near Palermo in Sicily to the town of Chiusa Sclafani, and Ned has been working on this roster for more than a year and certainly proud of the way that the Azzurri has played thus far in the Classic.
Guy next to him has a baseball lineage as well. Here's Luis Quinones. Caglione takes a strike. JP, who's that guy to his left?
Yes, that is Colin Sabian, himself a baseball executive and the son of Brian Sabian, the three-time World Series winning GM of the San Francisco Giants.
Pickoff throw. Pasquantino is back at second. So from the hard-throwing Rivera to Luis Quinones. This is his third appearance in the Classic. Italy at first and second with 2 outs. Caglione RBI single and a strikeout. And instead of heaters, you're getting off speed right now.
Strike zone has been wavering a bit for Team Puerto Rico. Before Quinones came in, 101 pitches from Team Puerto Rico, only 55 for strikes. Makes it difficult as a manager. You can push all the right buttons, but your relievers have to be a little bit more productive.
Changeup didn't catch the zone. The frustration for Puerto Rico is not just with the guy on the mound, also the umpire behind home plate. And Carlos Torres has missed a few calls, but a lot of the pitches that Puerto Rico are reacting to are not strikes.
Yeah, in the defense of Carlos Torres, though, when you're spraying the ball around as much as the Puerto Rico pitches have been, it's awful hard to get those close pitches called strikes. Maldonado was sitting away, and that last pitch ran in.
Bags are loaded. And if Italy wants to crack it wide open, they've got a chance.
Team Italy, the fans loving it so far. Italy with a chance to break this one open right now.
Jose Rosado, pitching coach, out there right now. JP?
Fisher always animated. We have seen him multiple times tonight singing his own walk-up song, Mr. Brightside. He's very much in the vibe, of course. Fisher representing Italy and his home state of New Jersey with that tattoo of the New Jersey Turnpike on his forearm.
Look at that. When the Killers hit, he looked right up and got right in the groove. He is a bundle of energy and power. No place to put him. 2 outs, bags loaded. Quinones. It's up.
Boy, if you're Fisher right now, if you could be patient, look for a ball in one particular area. No place to put anybody. They're loaded with 2 outs.
He's nearly tore himself in 2 on the 1-0.
Pitch to hit right there, and he knew it. See the smile on Andrew's face. Sitting on a fastball, you get it. Might want to cut that swing down just a little bit.
High pop out of play. There's a Giants flavor in the dugout for Italy. Ron Wotus, the bench coach. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach. Lipso Nava, the third base coach. And this guy played for Tony Vitello, their new manager at Tennessee.
Kind of wonder if you start running with Team Italy some failed opportunities. They've had traffic on in every inning. They've had some chances to deliver a knockout blow and have yet to been able to do so.
1-2. Driven, right field, and deep, and a fan reaches down, and that's going to be interference. This will be a double and 2 runs. And Fisher delivers. It looked from here like interference. Obviously, they'll review it.
At least a double. This one will be under review. I think clearly that fan reached into the field to play and reached over and beneath the yellow line.
The call in the field. The call in the field is fan interference. The ball is in play. The batter is awarded a double, 2-run score.
That's the quickest review and the best description I've seen in a while.
Well, Italy was looking for one big shot, and they were within a couple of feet of a grand slam. You can see this fan clearly catches it below the yellow line. That would have more than likely hit high off the wall, but definitely wouldn't have been gone.
You know, he catches it and then brings his glove down, but I think you're right. It's below the line, and it's 6-2 Italy. And here's D'Orazio. No place to hide when you're a fan that does that, whether it's in your section or on national TV. D'Orazio knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly in the first. 2 here in the fourth after a 4-run first. Italy a 4-run lead now. Maldonado has to smother it. Esquitino paces. Caglione is at third. Fisher's at second. D'Orazio is homered in the Classic. Maldonado, demonstrative, thought that was a strike, and that's going to continue to fuel the Puerto Rican dugout. Two. D'Orazio to right field. That one's hit well towards the corner. It's fair, and it bounces up and out of play. 2 more across. 8-2 Italy. This is unbelievable.
Italy had been waiting patiently. They've had traffic most of the game, trying to get that big base hit with runners on. Back-to-back doubles, Fisher and D'Orazio. And just like that, a snowman in 8th spot for Team Italy. You see this ball is a couple of feet into fair territory.
Italy, the darling of the World Baseball Classic, in a knockout game is up 8-2. 2 things, Dan Plesac, I'm going to bounce off of you. Maybe Puerto Rico's pitching numbers coming out of Pool A were wind aided. Remember, the hitters had a miserable time. Only 3 homers were hit down there. 30-mile-an-hour winds were pushing in from center field. That's point 1. Point 2 is maybe we shouldn't be surprised anymore about Team Italy.
No, this Team Italy team is for real. They pulled off the shocker of all shockers so far, punching Team USA right in the jaw and beating them 8-6. 2 things: they've pitched well and their defense has been airtight. They've been scoring a lot of their runs via the long ball. The espresso machines had the night off so far, but a big 8 spot for Team Italy.
8 hits, 8 different players have them. Nori swings and misses. And in their biggest games, they seem to have their biggest output offensively. 8-0 against USA. They won 8-6. 9-1 against Mexico. They nearly run-ruled that powerful Mexico team. And here they are in the quarterfinal against Puerto Rico. And they're up 8-2. D'Orazio at second. And how deep is this lineup? Birdie's not in there. DeZenzo's not in there. Remember, they lost Teal to the hamstring injury, and they're still crushing it. Check swing went around. Maldonado digs it out, throws to first and throws him out. Italy right now is unstoppable. 4 in the first, 4 here in the fourth, an 8-2 lead, and we're not even halfway through.
Earlier today, Team Italy arriving with their sharp suits, Armani everywhere. Well, once the game begins, you can wear your jersey and get it as muddy and dirty as you want it to be. There, of course, the Armani suit. And Vinny Pasquantino, that inning went on long enough, gentlemen. He could have gone in. He could have gotten a fresh pair of baseball pants, but who would want to do that? It's a ripped knee and all. Team Italy showing some grit. Even better news for Team Italy manager Francesco Cervelli. His favorite team in Serie A, Juventus, has a 1-0 lead on Udinese today. So it's all great right now for il allenatore della squadra italiana, Francesco Cervelli.
Indeed. Willie Castro, Daryl Hernandez, and Nolan Arenado. And Puerto Rico is going to have to do something they haven't done yet in the 4 previous games, and that's score a lot of runs. They'd scored just 15 runs in their 4 games, going 3-1 in Pool A. It's the top of the order. Castro's homer to left opened the scoring. Puerto Rico added a single run in the second, but that's it. 2 runs and 2 hits. Did I see Vinny has nabbed a coffee endorsement on social media? I think a direct result of the espresso, the home runs, up the middle. So JC just in time to get Castro.
Boy, one of the things you want to do, Ralph, if you're DeLucia, make them put the ball in play. Team Italy's defense has been airtight all WBC play. Out front here, just a dribbler right up the middle. So JC comes and gets it, underarm throw. Beats him by a step. Pepper the strike zone now. Worst thing, your biggest enemy would be base on balls.
Here is Hernandez. When the highlight film comes out at the end of the World Baseball Classic in 2026, you see the Italy defense has just been superb. Hernandez is going to be featured prominently, not just for the walk-off homer in the 10th inning, but the home run trot was more of a dance and a celebration than a trot. Chopper to third. Fisher. That's a heck of a play and a great stretch by Vinny.
Well, we've seen that from Pasquantino all Pool B and into this game against Puerto Rico. His defense at first base has been stellar. Little chopper. Fisher catches it on the in-between hop. Look at the stretch from Vinny. He has saved quite a few errors and some errant throws by both the middle infielders and on the corners. Just get it in the direction, and the big fella, if he gets a glove on it, you're out.
Fisher can play a little down there too.
And that big double with fan interference in the bottom of the fourth, creating some space here for Team Italy.
Arenado 0 for 2, looking for a bounce back year himself. with the Diamondbacks. Injuries last year. Career-wise, in terms of production, his worst in his career. But hope for him is that good health means better numbers. Two balls, two strikes. Dylan DeLucia. This is his third inning in relief. Sam Aldegari didn't last long. Sharp ground ball. So JC gets a glove on it. Arenado's got a hit. JP?
Rich, this is Nolan Arenado's third consecutive World Baseball Classic as a participant, but his first for Team Puerto Rico. He was part of Team USA, which won the gold medal back in 2017, also played in the final with the Americans back in 2023. He told me before the game that to be able to honor his mother's heritage has been incredibly meaningful to him. To play at Irán Bithorn Stadium was actually the first time he'd ever been to Puerto Rico, and he said the way the fans supported him there was indescribably a powerful and moving experience for him.
Amen. And a guy from his high school is going to start a baseball game tomorrow night and face the Dominican lineup. Paul Skeens gets the ball for Team USA. The Dominican Republic's lineup is ferocious.
It is, and I think it's the matchup of the two Titans. When this World Baseball Classic started, we were all envisioning a matchup between USA and the Dominican Republic. Good inning by DeLucia.
3 scoreless innings. Italy's up 8-2. Halfway through. And Tanachi leading it off. He's walked and scored. Doesn't have a hit. Everybody else does. Eight hits with 8 different players for Italy. And this is Antonacci's 4th at bat of the game.
Started the game off with a leadoff walk against Seth Lugo. Scored on the Pasquantino base hit.
He's talking about Paul Skeens and his start tomorrow against the Dominican Republic. Italy, remember, going into Pool B, slotted their 2 best starters for USA and Mexico. Into left, Ramos is there to make the catch. Those starters should be ready to go on Monday night, or at least one of them.
You would think so, and Michael Lorenzen was so good against Team USA. Wasn't afraid to attack the strike zone. Team Italy jumped out to an 8-0 lead, and they were in real reaching range of mercy ruling Team USA going into the 5th and 6th inning. Team USA clawed their way back, had a chance there in the 9th inning. Italy held on and won 8-6, and they came back the next night and pretty much took it right to Mexico right from the get-go.
That pitch at the knees had the plate. I would guess there's some remembrance of that 8-0 lead that almost disappeared in the dugout right now for Italy. As in, we don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, remember the terrific last out. Weissert with that changeup down and in, struck out Aaron Judge. Weissert was very strong in that 9th inning.
So JC goes down, and Cruz has 2 outs here in the 5th. Jacob Martzi now has walked, singled, stolen a base, and struck out. I know we're in the middle of college basketball season, but this is like a Cinderella getting hot and racing towards the Final Four.
This one today doesn't surprise me as much, Rich. After watching Italy against USA and Mexico back-to-back days, the USA game, you're like, okay, you know, did they catch USA on a bad night? But then when they came back and they punched Mexico right in the jaw, I started believing. And when you look at this lineup for Puerto Rico, without Lindor, without Correa, this certainly isn't a Puerto Rican lineup that is anywhere near the firepower of Mexico or Team USA. And if Italy could get out to a lead like they have, they're going to be tough to catch.
And a large contingent of Puerto Rican fans right now occupying themselves with the wave. This is a difficult ballpark to do the wave, because when you get to left center, as it comes around behind home plate, there really aren't that many fans out in left center and center field. So you're counting on the people on the rail out there to keep it going. Two, little check swing pop. Arenado has it. And Fernando Cruz, a 1-2-3 fifth. 8-2 Italy. The formula for Italy: 8 runs, 8 hits, and 3 shutout innings from this guy. Dylan DeLucia has been outstanding, and he pitches now into the 6th inning with that 6-run lead.
You know, as a manager, you're always looking for that bridge between your starter and the back end of the bullpen. This guy's been the bridge, the freeway, the runway, you name it. He's pitched some very, very valuable innings for Francisco Cervelli. When your starter gets knocked out in the 2nd inning as a manager, particularly you score 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st, you're thinking, okay, we've got this one under control. Aldegari was so good against Brazil in his first start. He just didn't have it tonight.
DeLucia going back to that College World Series with Ole Miss. This, you know, we haven't seen like an extended middle relief appearance so far here in Houston, because you're in Pool A. You've got high fly ball, left field deep, but not deep enough. In the sunlight, Nori with the catch.
So big to get that first out of inning. You've got a lot of space to work with an 8-2 lead. Last thing you want to do is start issuing base on balls, make Team Puerto Rico hit their way on.
Managers are under, you know, strict orders in terms of usage with guys in the big leagues. And a lot of times it's a revolving door of reliever after reliever, but DeLucia's a starter and a really good one. He faced Great Britain in his start, and you saw the Ole Miss numbers there. He didn't just pitch at Ole Miss. He was the most outstanding player at the College World Series in 2022. Ole Miss first College World Series title. He was 2-0. 17 strikeouts in 2 starts. Didn't walk anybody.
Having flashbacks from Omaha College World Series. That was his 53rd pitch. You almost get the feeling like he started his game. He's pitched so well. And he's really pitched the brunt of the work for Team Italy. Boy, terrific 3-1 with a 6-run lead. You're going to throw the breaking ball. You need to throw it for a strike, and he delivered. And if you can command something other than the fastball, Rich, that is some big-time pitching.
Ramos, a fly ball out, 2 quick outs in the 6th. JP?
For DeLucia, this start and this performance means all the more because he's already been to Italy. There are some photos from a family trip he took in the offseason of 2023-2024. This is something, Rich and Dan, that Vinny Pasquantino has discussed as well, because Pasquantino went along with the Italian Federation for a trip before the 2023 Classic, visiting Italy, understanding the communities, understanding the place that baseball has there, because it was played frequently in the areas where American service members were stationed after World War II as a way to connect the Italian and American identities. It makes this experience of representing Italy that much more meaningful.
Eddie Rosario fouls that one back. You know, I would guess that, look, it's not feasible, because if Italy wins, they're going to Miami, and after that, everybody's got to get back to spring training and get back to their teams. But wouldn't it be cool to take like a 3-day tour in Italy and maybe a parade or two, and because all of a sudden, you know, they're starting to talk baseball over there. And DeLucia gets a strikeout here, and he's absolutely rolling. 4 shutout innings. 8-2, Italia.
Spoken of the sartorial splendor of Team Italy, but may I submit there is no better chest protector in the World Baseball Classic than that of Martin Maldonado. I love that he has his hometown, La Guabo, in the east of Puerto Rico, near La Isla Vieques, is on the collar of that chest protector. And of course, La Mono Estrellada, the single beautiful white star on the Puerto Rican flag. La Bandera de Puerto Rico is there in the middle of his chest protector. So certainly honoring La Tierra de los Receptores, as he always does, the proud tradition of Puerto Rican catchers.
JP, I always feel so inadequate in terms of my pronunciations whenever the fact that you speak, what, 3 languages, 4 languages?
Well, I sometimes struggle with English, Rich, but I'm still working, and I'm very fortunate to have a lot of great teachers.
Liner in the center field. Lugo is there to make the catch. Pasquantino is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Now you start, you know, you're close to counting outs right now if you're Team Italy to get to the semifinals, to get your ticket to Miami. And it was really interesting that, you know, the chat with Francisco Cervelli before the game. And, you know, he said, look, we want to get to Miami to see what's going on down there.
Had a chance to talk to GM of Team Italy, Ned Coletti, before the game. And he just said that the momentum that this World Baseball Classic has helped generate for baseball in the country of Italy can't be measured. Like, you know, it is a football, soccer crazed area. But he said for the first time, we're going to be on primetime TV back in Italy. And he said the importance of this game, and to win particularly over Team USA, was a huge step in the right direction.
And as we talked about, Puerto Rico doesn't have the stars, as Raymond Burgos has come out of the bullpen. 1-2. They don't have the, you know, the players that we had noted that they're without, Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor. But you know what? Italy took down USA. Italy took down Mexico. Canzone. Lugo is there and makes the catch. And those 2 countries, obviously, such great tradition in baseball in Mexico and the United States goes without saying. But they were both in the semifinals in 2023. Mexico was 3 outs away from getting to the final. USA got to the final and lost to Japan. So they've done the heavy lifting here. There's no free passes to Miami.
I mean, after they shocked Team USA 8-6, you know, the feeling around Daikin Park the next night was, can they do it again? And USA needs some help. And they took it to Mexico.
That's nice work by Raymond Burgos as he comes in and gets 3 quick outs. On to the 7th, still 8-2 Italy. This was felt to be a pretty even matchup with Puerto Rico and Italy. Dan Altavilla comes in.
AKA also known as the Big House. Pitched some terrific baseball down the stretch last year for the Chicago White Sox. Guy with a big arm. He'll get it up there mid to upper 90s. His job right now, pound that strike zone.
Dylan DeLucia was absolutely what Italy needed. Coming out of the bullpen, restoring order in what was a wild, crazy first few innings for both pitching staffs. DeLucia went 4 innings, didn't give up a run, gave up 2 hits, didn't walk anybody, and punched out 3.
Yeah, if you're looking, he may not go down in the box score afterwards as the MVP, but he restored order, held the lead, and gave Italy a chance to keep it where it was at. They get 2 innings. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first and 4 runs in the bottom of the fourth. You add that up, and it's 8 runs for Team Italy. You start counting outs, as you talked about, Rich. 9 outs away from a trip to Miami.
Brian Torres getting the pinch hit spot here, and he takes down low. Torres 8 years in the minors with Milwaukee and St. Louis. Yadi Molina looking at his lineup card, looking for somebody who can spark this offense to life. And maybe it's Torres who defiantly whips the bat all the way to the dugout, trying to fire up his mates.
If you're Puerto Rico right now, base runners are your best friend.
MJ Melendez now. And if this score holds, that appears to be the last game for Martin Maldonado in his long and very, very successful career as a catcher, and much of it in this ballpark for the Houston Astros. 3 World Series, 1 World Series title. Melendez takes a strike.
Little cutter from Altavia.
Torres at first. Yes. We've talked about all the great catchers. Sandy Alomar Jr. down there as the first base coach. Maldonado goes into that conversation. Yadi goes into that conversation. And then seemingly everybody in the Italy dugout as well, with Cervelli, Posada, and Sal Fasano was always known as a really good defensive catcher. And that is not good defense there. It goes by Pasquantino, and suddenly Puerto Rico has something going here.
Runners on the corners with nobody out.
The top of the order coming up.
Castro, who homered, is the first hitter of the game and gave Puerto Rico a 1-0 lead. This ball is hit hard. Ball just gets under the glove of Vinny. Scooted on that grass.
Former teammates, this is going to be an error on Pasquantino. Castro now.
Spot right here if you're Team Italy. You trade a run for an out, sac fly, ground ball, anything. Kind of slow this momentum down for Puerto Rico.
Italy's bullpen active. Matt Festa is ready. Torres Melendez at the corners. This crowd was at just a fevered pitch before the first pitch of the game. Puerto Rican anthem played, and you and I looked at each other. There was like a jolt of electricity, like somebody plugged Dyken Park into a socket.
Yeah, much like what Italy did to Mexico. When you jump out to a lead, you keep this crowd quiet. Mexico had a very strong contingent of fans here too, here in Houston.
Altavilla ready, and a 1-2. Castro takes, it's 2-2.
This is really about as far as you want to go if you're Altavilla. You like to initiate contact on 1-1 and 2-2 counts. Whatever you're going to throw here, present it like it's a strike.
Still only 3 hits for Puerto Rico. The Castro homer, Matthew Lugo single, and Arenado's infield hit. 2-2. Soft liner caught there. Everybody back to their bases.
Once again, Team Italy in the right place defensively. Ball hit off the end of the bat just a bit, a soft line drive. And Sagasi in the right spot. Pretty simple play and a good job of getting back to first. The last thing you want to do is get doubled up when you're down by 6 runs.
Hernandez now. Ground ball could get Altavilla out of this inning. You got Arenado on deck.
Good fastball there, 97 miles an hour from Altavilla. Sitting fastball is Hernandez. Altavilla just simply beats him, overpowers him with that 97.
Evens the count 2-2.
Yeah, another really good pitch. Runs that fastball in on Hernandez's hands. Boy, after 2 fastballs like that, if he could locate that breaking ball, he likes to throw that hard sweeper down and away to a righty.
2-2. It's an 8-2 lead for Italy. Puerto Rico does not have a run since the 2nd inning. Got him.
Boy, a great cutter there by Altavilla. After a couple of fastballs in the high to upper 90s, he puts a little bit of cut on this one, and it is located on point. Maybe a ball off the plate. You can see that off-center grip, that cutter grip. Appears to be a strike until it wasn't.
Puerto Rico has not had a lot of at-bats with runners in scoring position, but they're 0 for 4 with the opportunities they've had, and Arenado's really struggling to find his stroke in this classic.
Yeah, he seems to be pulling off the ball just a little bit. Anything on that outer third that's down, he's having a tough time getting to it.
Ball and a strike. 34,000 here in Houston.
Another good fastball, 97 after a couple of pitches on the outer third. Went back to that ball that runs in. Now you've got multiple ways you can attack Arenado. You can try to double up and go back out there, in there again, or go ahead and try to throw that hard cutter down and away.
1-2, he got him. His parents here, Dan and Colleen, right arm up. Altavilla gets into trouble and then gets out of it, and it's still 8-2. Incredible ride for Team Italy is continuing here in Houston. And now in the bottom of the 7th, they're 6 outs away from a ticket to Miami. Brian Torres in center. You saw Christian Vasquez behind the plate for Puerto Rico. This is Andrew Fisher. And the count's 1-1. Raymond Burgos for Puerto Rico into his second inning of work. Fisher fouls it at the plate. Fisher hit a ball to the top of the wall in right field back in the 4th, which a fan made a terrific catch on, but it was interference. He had to settle for a 2-run double.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest hit of the game for Team Italy. It was 6-2 at that point. Puerto Rico had some traffic on the bases, but it went from 6-2 to 8-2. It's kind of felt like for Team Italy right now, all you need to do is get some outs. There's another look at that batted ball off the bat of Fisher. We thought for a minute it was gone. A nice catch by the fan, but you could see he clearly reached over and above that yellow line.
Anytime there's a fan involved like that, it's usually a very intricate review. This one took like, what, 30 seconds? Two. That's a gorgeous breaking ball.
Well, that's a big breaker. You can see the look at Fisher's like, what? Pull the string on that one. A big sweeper. Ball starts off on the inner third. You see Jelly Legs him. Gets a little buckle there.
Yadier Molina comes out. Another pitching change. A lot of them for Puerto Rico today. A really fun ride through Pool B. And a couple of quarterfinals, one last night. USA beating Canada narrowly 5-3. And here Italy's incredible run is continuing. D'Orazio facing Yaxel Rios, who was charged a ball there, and that foul makes it 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another guy coming out of that bullpen for Puerto Rico with a big arm. That first pitch, 98 miles an hour. I think what caught us all by surprise, Seth Lugo has been such a good pitcher, and his lone start in pool play in San Juan, he was so good. Not able to get out of the first inning. To me, that's the biggest takeaway and the biggest shocker of this one.
Sam Aldegari, the Italy starter, did not look sharp either. Neither pitcher was around long.
No, Aldegari wasn't able to get out the second inning, but Dylan DeLucia, if you're looking for a guy that went above and beyond the call of duty, I know he's a former starter. 4 strong innings in relief.
And maybe that, as there's the second out of the inning, maybe that's an indication of what I've heard from a couple of managers, coaches, people that have been around the game in both a World Series situation and a World Baseball Classic situation. And they have remarked that they've got players on their teams that have played in both and are much more tense and much tighter in World Baseball Classic, especially when you get into quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final.
I think the biggest reason why, Rich, it's so early in the month of March, and if you've gone through a long 6-month season, you've gone through some ups and downs where you've had a pitch and you've lost it, you found it again, and over the course of time, you find something that gives you some consistency. But this pool play starts, and you need to be sharp right off the get-go. You don't have 4 or 5 appearances to find that breaking ball like you do in the Grapefruit or the Cactus League. You're working your way into, you want to establish one side of the plate. You want to make sure you get your breaking ball over for strikes before spring training ends. All of a sudden, you get thrust in this environment here at Daikin Park, and there's 35,000 people here, and the balls and strikes are for real, and the scores for real. It comes up on you quick.
Nori in the 9th spot has a single and a stolen base. And as well, it's not like, hey, we dropped 2 of 3 to Canada, but they're coming to our place in May, so we'll get them on the return trip. Nori swings, or check swings, and misses, and that's a 3rd out. Puerto Rico kind of hesitated out there. Counting outs right now if you're Italy to the 8th, 8-2. All right, at first you'd see that and you say, well, that's Italian, but he's sitting in the Puerto Rico section. That's more like it, I would guess.
Matt Festa on for Team Italy. His job right now, get 3 outs. Italy 6 outs away from making its first ever appearance to Miami in the finals.
Carlos Cortez swings and misses.
Tell you what, you started to look at when this Pool B started. Team USA, without question, the most powerful roster they put together. And a lot of people thought Mexico.
Including Mexico.
Yes.
Thought Mexico. Cortez lines one into center field. Manuel Rivera. Elliot Ramos also scheduled for Yadier Molina. Two teammates with the Cardinals, Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina, both managing now in a variety of places in the World Baseball Classic. And you would hope that either or both will get a shot in the big leagues.
We've got another guy managing Dominican Republic, Albert Pujols. I think you'll be seeing him in a dugout managing a big league ball club soon.
I believe he interviewed with the Padres that last round. 1-1. I can't imagine that it's easy to manage in winter ball. But that is a great proving ground. Just ask Benji Heel, who's done a lot of it and been really successful.
There's a good look at Benji Molina. A lot of people inside baseball think that someday you're going to see Benji managing.
I think both Benjis should be managing. Rivera pops it up. Towards the dugout goes DeRazio, and it's out of reach. JP?
One really important detail, Rich, on the dynamic between managing in winter ball and managing in the minor leagues. In the minor leagues, the emphasis is always going to be on development. In winter ball, it is winning from pitch 1 of game 1. The pressure in winter ball is much more similar to this than just about anything else.
Are the seats hotter in winter ball for managers than they are in the major leagues?
Oh, yes. Changes happen more frequently in the course of a winter ball season than they do in the major leagues, and the expectations and intensity of the fans. I had a conversation earlier today with Nolan Arenado about what he felt at Irán Bithorn Stadium in San Juan, which of course is the home ballpark of 2 Winter League teams in Puerto Rico. And he said there, 19,000 fans sound like 60,000, and that pressure is amplified on the manager as well.
All right, good stuff. And now Puerto Rico trying to mount something, down 6 runs near the top of the 8th. Cortez a base hit, Rivera works a walk, and Ramos comes to the plate. The lefty's ready. Ramos takes outside for Matt Festa.
Yeah, this is about as far as you want to, if you want to go, if you're Festa right now. You don't want to get any more traffic on the bases. Puerto Rico looking for any kind of spark they can get to get a potential big inning going.
Cue the pitching coach. It's Alessandro Maestri.
Pretty simple conversation if you're Maestri right now. Is listen, you need to start throwing some strikes. Let's go. You got a 6-run lead. Last thing you want to do is start issuing free passes. Your team Puerto Rico, this is just what you're looking for. A pitcher struggling to find the strike zone. Couple of guys on, and you've got some leverage in a 2-0 count. And Rosario on deck, who has some pop in his bat.
Ramos takes outside. It's 3-0. And if you're Italy, you can't wait around with this much on the line. And if you're Puerto Rico, you want more base runners. Outside corner, 3-1.
This pitch just catches that outside corner.
3-1 pitch fouled. 3-2. Durazio calls time. Carlos Torres hopped out from behind the plate. Three-two. Lost him. Bags are loaded. The door is open for Puerto Rico. And here comes Cervelli. Joe LaSorsa, the lefty, is ready. And he will make the change. 8-2 Italy, bags loaded. Back after this. Puerto Rico's offense has been dormant since the second inning. Italy's lead is still 8-2, but the bags are loaded. Joe LaSorsa is in. There's nobody out. You got Rosario at the plate, Major League veteran of 11 years. Fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1.
Aggressive first pitch by LaSorsa. One of the things you want to do in a spot like this, damage control, bases loaded, nobody out. If you can get out of this with just 1 run scoring, it'd be a terrific job.
On the ground, Pasquantino got it out there. The turn not in time as LaSorsa stumbles at the bag. A run across, it's 8-3. So JC made a clean turn, And La Sorsa got all tangled up at first.
Good job by Vinny here to get that lead runner. This is a tough play for a left-handed pitcher. You're falling off towards the third base side, and you've got a middle infielder trying to hit you on the run. La Sorsa did a good job of getting to the bag and squaring his body. Also did a good job of knocking that one down.
He actually looked like he had his foot on the bag when the throw got to his glove. Now Torres. And it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Torres came in as a pinch hitter in the seventh. Stayed in the game, has been in center field. 2 more runs out there. Puerto Rico trying to narrow the margin. And this crowd, which was so alive, deafening when the game started, because Willie Castro hit a leadoff homer to give them a 1-0 lead. And this is what they sounded like. Hit him. They're loaded again. And now Italy's dugout. And I think Francisco Cervelli wants to challenge this. Bill Miller said no challenge because it hit him in the arm, but you as a manager, you are allowed to challenge this. I don't know if the replay room said anything. Bill Miller said it cleanly hit him in the arm, but he's standing about 110 feet away. Torres said, hey, you want to look at it? Hard to tell. The bags are loaded. Now Christian Vasquez gets his first at bat of the game with the bags loaded and 1 out. Ball gets away. Runner coming home. Rivera scores. Puerto Rico has life.
This breaking ball just gets away. Makes it easy for Puerto Rico to score another run. It's a hapless feeling if you're Francisco Cervelli. Just simply handing bases and runs to Team Puerto Rico.
Now Cervelli had
the trainer out.
I was about to say that is the trainer.
The play at first base, maybe when Festa went to cover, when La Sorsa went to cover first base.
Italy's closer, Greg Weissert, is loose and ready. If La Sorsa can't get any outs, they may bring Weissert in an inning early. Vasquez now second and third. Ground ball base hit. That's going to score one. Ramos will score. Rosario to the plate. He's in.
Vasquez came in as a replacement for Maldonado.
Pitching change. This game has turned. Puerto Rico suddenly alive.
That flip for the ages there too. Italy has given Puerto Rico some opportunities, and they're starting to cash in. We've got ourselves a ball game.
Castro, the tying run with 1 out. Italy's closer. Weissert with a fastball. It's fouled back. Castro homered back in the first. It's been a messy inning. A couple walks, fielder's choice, a hit batter, and 3 hits.
Weissert closed the door on Team USA in their 8-6 win, Italy over USA. Francisco Cervelli could wait no longer. He had to go with his final line of defense.
Breaking ball doesn't come far enough, and it's 2-1. This is a knockout round. Winner goes to Miami in the semifinals. The 2-1. Pulled foul.
Just what you feared if you're Francisco Cervelli. You felt like you had this one securely. 8-2 starting the inning. As you touched on, it's been a sloppy inning pitching-wise for Team Italy. Puerto Rico finds themselves one big swing of the bat from tying this thing up.
And dependable arms who have struggled here. Festa, La Sorsa, they've been good in the first 4 games. Weissert has closed twice. 2-2. Inside. You've got a catcher at first base with 1 out. And Castro sitting at 3-2. Not running. Swing and a miss. Weissert gets a strikeout.
Saved his best fastball for last. That was 95. The express right down the middle, but about belt high, and he throws it right by. It's a big out for Team Italy. Throws it right by Castro.
Here's Hernandez, who has the biggest swing of the tournament for Puerto Rico so far. Not in this game, but when they desperately needed it in extra innings against Panama, he walked it off with a solo homer. Weissert misses.
You try not to look ahead if you're Team Italy, but one of the things, if you can help it, is to bring your best guy in the 8th inning. A lot of times you'll see relievers get out of trouble in the 8th, and they have to go out there and recreate that momentum again in the 9th.
Pours across the strike at 95. Yadier Molina, without star power, has navigated the waters in this World Baseball Classic. The 2-1. Ground ball up the middle, into center field. And now Arenado with runners first and second and 2 outs. Cervelli looking at the scoreboard. Arenado in the box against Weissert. Misses outside.
Good take there by Arenado. He had been chasing that pitch his prior at bats, that breaker just off the outside edge.
Tying runs at first. 2 outs. Top of the 8th. Pop up, and it's out of play.
Good pitch to hit right there. Fastball pretty much right down Broadway. Nolan put a good swing on it.
Great career. A lot of big moments and big hits. One. Fouled it straight back.
Really well located fastball there by Weiser. Sitting in the driver's seat now at 1-2. Has a couple of pitches he can play around with. See if he could get Arenado to chase. He struck out Judge on a changeup for the final out in that victory. Italy over Team USA.
1-2 pitch.
Tried the same thing there with Arenado. Missed with it.
And your point's a good one. Weiser bending pitches here. He's their 9th inning guy. This is the 8th. Now the 2-2. Slow ground at a third. Fisher crossed the diamond and they get the out. Does Italy. 4 runs for Puerto Rico. The lead is down to 2.
Biggest out of the game for Team Italy. Pitch sequence. First pitch slurve off the plate. Four-seam fastball right down the middle. Well located fastball. Changeup, Arenado doesn't bite. Gets him on another changeup to ground it to third.
Edwin Diaz's first pitch hits Sam Antonacci. So Timmy Trumpet was at full blare. The fans were in a frenzy when Diaz comes out and he bonks him right on the shin.
First pitch breaking ball hits him right in that guard with the speed of Antonacci right now. Italy's been playing aggressive all tournament long. I wouldn't be surprised. Try to pick up 90 feet, try to swipe a bag, get in the scoring position.
Now conventionally, you're the visiting team as PitchCom is getting a work over. And you would like, ideally, to have this guy, if you took the lead, into the bottom of the 9th. But here he is in the 8th.
I think so much is made of now that how can you end a game with your best reliever and he's not part of the game, and I think that enters in a lot of the calculations of a manager.
JP?
I love this move from Team Puerto Rico's standpoint. You got to make sure that your best reliever gets into a game like this. There are certainly rules about the big 162 when you're in the regular season and you want to save your closer for the 9th. This is not the regular season. This is tournament baseball. Urgency. You've got the momentum on your side right now. Puerto Rico has to keep this game at 8-6, and they can worry about the 9th inning when it gets here.
It is a knockout game. Runner goes, good jump. The throw, not in time.
Love the aggressive play there by Francisco Cervelli. Anytime you can pick up 90 feet, most closers aren't very adept at holding runners well. You see that high leg kick from Diaz. Vasquez has no shot. That base was stolen easily.
It's been all home runs for Italy in the first 4 games.
You see Antonacci peeking in while he was going down. He pulled a great decoy earlier in the tournament where he left his feet.
Francisco Cervelli said, hey, we're going to run a lot. They'd only stolen 3 bases in 4 games. 4 bases from 4 different players in this one. 2-2. Sagasi into center. Runner tags. Torres has it and gets off a strong throw. And Antonacci says, yeah. Marcy now. Antonacci seems annoyed at something.
You have to be careful if you're thinking about swiping third with the left-handed hitter up. Creates a very easy throwing lane for Vasquez behind the plate.
Diaz gets inside on him. It's 0-2. Of course, 2023, it was a celebration down in Miami that derailed his season. Strike three call. It caught the corner.
We've had a chance the last couple of days to see two of the best relievers in the business, Mason Miller last night, and Diaz recently signed that big deal with the Dodgers. Not only a fastball, but a terrific breaking ball to go along with it.
Pasquantino now.
That's a big run out at second base for Team Italy. You often hear that phrase of bloop and a blast. All it takes is one base runner. That tying run comes up in the ninth inning.
0-1. Diaz misses in.
You almost get the feeling that Diaz is pitching around Pasquantino a little bit. A veteran guy. He has Canzone, a young hitter on the on-deck circle.
Diaz a Dodger this year.
Base open, no sense in just laying one in there for Pasquantino.
Three 1.
Went to the slider, 3-1. Best fastball so far from Diaz, 98 miles an hour. Credit Vinny for staying alive. Not easy when you get that 3-1 breaking ball. You've got to catch up with that 98-mile-an-hour express.
4-5-6 is due up for Puerto Rico when we get to the top of the ninth. All the way to the screen. That's a walk, and that's 90 feet for Antonacci. JP?
One thing I've noticed, Rich, Greg Weissert, who finished the 8th inning, is still seated in the Italian dugout. He may go back out there for the 9th inning. At first glance, the Italy bullpen looks pretty quiet. So Greg Weissert, 15 pitches in already, expected to begin the 9th inning for Team Italy.
I'm sure, JP, with memories of that showdown with Judge in the 8-6 win over USA. Yadi directing from the dugout.
See Molina walking to the middle infielders.
Pasquantino's going to take the bag.
No chance they were throwing through. Italy, if they had any visions of trying to steal a run. Antonacci with good speed at third.
Edwin Diaz does not look sharp. And his pitching coach is on the way out. Jose Rosado. Canzone walked a couple times. An RBI single. That first inning really set the tone for Italy. 4 runs, 3 walks, 3 RBI singles, and a sac fly. That's it. Puerto Rico is out of mound visits.
One of the things that makes Diaz so tough, when he's on, he can land that breaking ball for a strike.
Canzone has power. He's homered in the Classic.
There it is.
Just caught the corner.
The backdoor breaking ball.
Tenacci at third. Pasquantino is at second. Puerto Rico trying to keep it at 2. And get to the 9th. That's a strike. Looked out. Canzone had already left for first.
That's a pitch most of the game that's been called a ball. Yadi Molina was complaining a little bit the first couple innings. He thought that strike zone was awful tight on Seth Lugo.
3-2. Got him. Italy needs 3 outs. Puerto Rico needs 2 runs. To the 9th inning we go in the World Baseball Classic. Morabito in left for Italy. Greg Weissert, who came in and cleaned up the 8th. Their closer for Italy starts the 9th. Cortez takes a breaking ball for a strike. Carlos Cortez in the cleanup spot, 1 for 4. Puerto Rico is down 2. And Weissert's in front, 0-2.
Great job by Weissert attacking the strike zone. That first out in a 2-run lead is so important.
Oh-2. Cortez stays alive.
Another good fastball there from Weissert. Velocity's been good. 95 miles an hour. Normally, a couple times we've seen him, he likes to go with that fastball up. And then that changeup, he likes to pound it down and away to lefties, down and into righties.
0-2. Base hit, right center field. The tying run in the 9th inning of a knockout game is coming to the plate for Puerto Rico. And there's nobody out.
That's a pitch that Weissert would like to get back. Not a real good pitch with 2 strikes. Went back to the fastball, just too much of the plate. This is pretty much center cut.
Emmanuel Rivera at the plate. First pitch, strike 1. Parts of 5 years in the big leagues. El Pulpo is his nickname, the octopus. That's for his great defense. Right now they need some offense out of him. Cortez at first. 0-1. It's a good take. Ball and a strike.
Big sweeper from Weissert. He has 3 pitches, a fastball, the changeup, and the sweeper.
One pitch. 2-1.
Pretty good pitch. May have caught that outside edge.
Italy bullpen is active. Big swing.
Such an important part of being a high leverage reliever. When they're sitting fastball 2-1. This one wasn't all that well located, but the change in speed from 95 to 85 had Rivera out front.
Two-two pitch. Got him. There's the first out for Italy.
Every pitcher has that one pitch that they have in their bag of tricks they like to go to. The sweeper, and this is a dandy from Weissert.
The San Francisco Giants, Elliot Ramos at the plate. Ramos hits a fly ball to right. Caglione is there. Italy is an out away from doing the unthinkable. getting to Miami and the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic.
Got to be careful here. Rosario has some pop in his bat. You see the brain trust of Team Italy. One of the things you want to do is try to keep the ball in the middle part of the diamond if you can. With a short porch in left field, those Crawford box seats, and that short wall in right field. You want to keep it up the middle of the diamond if you can.
Runner will take second on ball one. Cortez is safely there. Rosario, a postseason hero in Atlanta, and a guy when he was a Twin that averaged over 3 seasons 27 homers a year. One more out for Italy. Two and 0.
Right now, if you're Weiser, a couple of things. Main thing, you need to keep the ball in the ballpark. If for Rosario, you're looking for something you could get in the air and tie this thing up with one swing.
Weissert ready. 2-0 to Rosario. Fly ball in the corner. Morabito has room and he's got it! And Italy has done it! On to Miami! The Cinderella ride continues for Italy.
Weissert an inning and 2/3. Pressure cooker. Puerto Rico had some traffic in the 8th and 9th inning. Couple of big relief appearances. Dylan DeLucia, 4 scoreless. Weissert an inning and 2/3 scoreless, and when it mattered the most, Weissert delivered just like he did against Team USA in their 8-6 win, and Team Italy on to Miami.
3 saves for Weissert. The biggest comes here.
Puerto Rico stormed back. This one looked like it was all Team Italy. 8-2 going into the middle innings. Puerto Rico put 4 runs across in the 8th inning. Started to get dicey.
When they beat USA, it was the biggest win in Italy's history. The next night they beat Mexico. That was the biggest win in Italy history. And this afternoon in Houston, this is the biggest win in Italy's baseball history. National television across Italy. And they've watched their team advance to the semifinals in Miami to face the winner of Japan or Venezuela on Monday night. And the dream that Francisco Cervelli has had when he took the helm of baseball in Italy is realized here.
They came out of a powerhouse pool that had Team USA and Team Mexico. Italy ran the table in Pool B, 4-0. They took down the US, they took down Mexico. They continue to steamroll as they take down Puerto Rico. They head to Miami.
This large crowd, mostly Puerto Rican fans, reacting to their ball club coming out to thank the fans. They had hopes when this went towards the Crawford boxes, but not deep enough.
Love the reaction of Weissert, kind of holding his breath. Okay, arms up. Inning at 2/3, under stress, under pressure.
The kid, the veteran, and the bench.
The only thing that didn't come in play tonight for Italy was the espresso machine.
Just proof that they can win without caffeine.
Yeah, but Andrea Bocelli blaring through the PA here at Dyken Park. We've heard that song 5 times in the last week.
He'll be on the plane to Miami with this group. Every time you think the ride's going to end, it just gets better.
Yeah, this has been a great run here in Houston. It started a little over a week ago. And Team Italy shocks everyone. They sweep Pool B, go 4-0, take down Puerto Rico, and it's off to South Florida and Miami.
So the bracket, the third ticket for Miami has been handed out. Italy has advanced. They will play the winner of Venezuela and Japan, that game tonight in Miami. And 34,000 saw a terrific game here. This was supposed to be a USA-Mexico path to Miami. And Italy beat them both. And they take down Puerto Rico in the quarterfinals. Vinny Pasquantino with JP Morosi.
Vinny, we love talking about tournaments this time of year. How does this sentence sound? Italy is headed to the Final Four.
It's amazing. I don't know how many people would have picked the Dominican Republic, Japan, the United States, and Italy in the Final Four, but we're here now. So we're going to enjoy this for the next, probably few hours. We got a flight we got to catch. This is incredible, man. What a group of guys all week. I think we've known each other for 12 days now. They're celebrating over there. They're jumping around. Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. The work this group has put in over these past 12 days. These guys aren't scared.
Come on, baby!
Thank you. It's just great. It's great.
To wear the captaincy, Vinny, for this team to represent your family in this way, what has this meant to you personally?
It's unbelievable. The name Pasquantino, right? You know what it is. I mean, my grandfather, I'm sure he's watching right now, proud. The Pasquantonios back in Italy are watching. We've got family in New York that are watching. I mean, this is why you do it, is to represent your family, and we were able to do that this week, and I couldn't be more honored.
Most important question, Vinny. So the Hall of Fame wanted your bat. You wanted to keep using it. How about the pants, which were then torn at the knee on that daring stolen base?
Yeah, that was nice. Sometimes you get a read and you try to make things happen, and luckily we were able to score right there. So, you just, with two outs, nobody on base, draw a walk, and are able to get the second there, and, able to bother their pitchers a little bit, which was nice. So we did a nice job, and we're excited for what's to come.
Complimenti, ci vediamo in Miami. We'll see you in Miami, Vinny.
Hey, grazie. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Vinny.
Love that, right? We've seen so much of that, so much espresso, opera for walk-up songs, and the celebration song. Just a ton of fun. I know the Italian in you is pretty proud too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they came into this pool as the underdog, but there were a lot of people walking around that said, listen, young team, fresh legs, play hard. Antonacci was terrific. All Pool B, and today against Puerto Rico. Can't stress enough the importance of Michael Lorenzen, 4 2/3 scoreless against Team USA, backed up by 5 scoreless from Aaron Nola against Mexico. They had the schedule that was favoring them off day wise, but credit Lorenzen, credit Nola, pitched them into a spot where they had to take down Team Puerto Rico to get to Miami. And I can't stress enough the importance. The 4 scoreless innings from Dylan DeLucia and Weissert, inning and 2/3 to close things down. It wasn't easy. It never is when you try to get to the final 4 teams, but Italy is there. And as they said earlier, they didn't get this far to come this far, and they're going to continue on.
All right, the first inning, remember they fell down 1-0, but then they got a couple runners on, and Pasquantino punched one just into center field, and that started the scoring. Remember, Seth Lugo, a teammate of Pasquantino, so maybe a little bit of intelligence handed out.
Well, there's a reason he's looked at as a major part of this team. A veteran presence, a solid player with the Royals. Virtually made every play at first base in Team Italy. They just put it on early, scored 4 runs in the first inning. Thought that was enough to hold up, but it wasn't. Puerto Rico made a valiant comeback in the 8th and 9th inning.
Wow. I mean, just an incredible charge from Italy, having to take down in 3 games USA, Mexico, and Puerto Rico, and they did it. And they're on to Miami.